G'day everybody, welcome to the Bourbon Shed. My name's Mick, this is the Bourbon Shed, formerly known as my wife's garden shed. Now I'm here today in celebration with Bourbon Life Nation. We are Bourbon Life Nation under 60, where we like to celebrate the bourbons you can get every day. They're attainable and affordable. Not everything in front of you now, or in front of me now, is affordable or attainable. There's a couple in here that are harder to get, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The big thing is Heaven Hill, who we're going to celebrate on the 5th and final Thursday. That's right, I said Thursday, the final one in September, the 5th Thursday of National Bourbon Heritage Month. That's right, and at Bourbon Life we've been going through every Thursday and picking out a distillery and just really enjoying what they've got to offer. Seeing you all post your pictures, your stories of when you visited the distilleries. Mike's been posting different facts about the distilleries. So this week we're going to be hitting Heaven Hill, who unfortunately at the current time are having some labor relations issues. The employees are out on strike, looking for fair wages, talking about working on weekends to try and help us get more bourbon. But we want everybody to be happy. We want everybody working together. They're very proud of their company, and I'm sure that they'll work everything out. So we're not going to let that get in the way of us enjoying this great bourbon that they work so hard to produce, because that's the whole point of this thing there, is to appreciate the distillery, but appreciate the people, the bottlers, the people on their fork trucks, the ones that are rolling the barrels around. They're the ones that make this product and make it available to us. So kudos to them. Shout out to all of you out there. Hope you get this thing settled out soon. In the meantime, as I said, let's talk about some of these, because they have a lot of attainable bottles under 60, just like we talk about all the time in Bourbon Life. So starting with this one over here, Rittenhouse Rye. It's a bottled and bond rye, and it's right around $20. Anywhere, I think they go anywhere from like $18 up to $23, $24. I've seen them up as high as $30, but they're great. They're 100 proof, and I'll tell you, if you're making cocktails, 100 proof is a perfect point for that. It's got enough alcohol, enough flavors to cut through the mixes that you put in there, and it's also great to drink neat. So don't be afraid of that. The bottled and bonds are fantastic, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them up here. Anyway, moving on. This one here is really popular. This one's around $50 a bottle. It is Pikesville Straight Rye. What's interesting about this rye here is it's a barley rye, meaning it's 51% rye. So bourbons have to be 51% or more corn. Ryes, to be called a rye, are 51% or more rye. A wheated bourbon, catch that, a wheated bourbon. You can replace the rye with a wheat. And what happens when you replace the rye has a lot of spiciness to it. Think about rye bread, you know, that dark bread that you get from the bakery, and it's very strong. Typically the kids don't like it as much. They like that sweet white bread, but the rye bread's a lot healthier for you, a lot more flavor in it. Rye breads are very popular in Europe. So anyway, think about that. It's got that spiciness, it's got that kick to it. I actually like it for whatever reason. I like my ryes. Anyway, moving on. We got the 6-year bourbon here. That was a gift from my friend Kyle Ragsdale over at Bourbon Blind. If you haven't visited Bourbon Blind, go check him out on YouTube. They truly do what you're talking about. He rates bottles based on purely on flavor. So his wife will pour the blinds and then cover up the bottle. And I've done the few with him, and he's got other people that go in there with him, and they taste the bourbon not knowing what it is, and they talk about it, how much they're enjoying it. And then they'll give it a price and say, this is what I'd be happy to pay for it. So you'll be shocked on some of the things over there. So go check out Kyle and Aaron over at Bourbon Blind. When you come back, of course, to Bourbon Life Under 60 and tell us what you found out about it. Again, this is a bottled and bond. This is the Heaven Hill bottled and bond. I believe that used to be a 9-year, like a white label like this one here. I think it was a 9-year. And then they changed the label on it and increased the price. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. You might want to fact check that, but it was something like that. So anyway, this is the bottled and bond. And I got some in this glass right here. Oh, it's got some nice sweetness to it. Kind of candied, like hard candy. sweetness to it. That's quite delicious. It's got it's lighter caramel vanilla, some baking spice in there, so it does have a bit of spice in there. Oh, the finish just gets really, really sweet. A little bit of cinnamon spice in there, just a touch. All right, so the next bottled and bond is Henry McKenna, and this one has got really popular. So this here is, I believe this is a small batch bottled and bond. A 7-year-old bottled and bond. Anyway, so I think that's a small batch. This one here is a single barrel. So with single barrels, you can get some really, really good ones, and then you can get some okay ones. This one here is an okay one, in my opinion. It is from it was barreled 4/6/2009, number 7724. All right, so let's compare that to the 7-year bottled and bond. All right, so this is also a 7-year. That says right here. It says it is yep, that's 7 years old, and this one here is 6 years old. All right, so we got a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old bottled and bond, and you all know about bottled and bonds, right? So bottled and bond has to be from the same growing season, same distillate, same distiller, so you know that it's all quality products, that they haven't blended it and put some inferior product in there. So it's a quality statement, bottled and bond, and then it's managed and made sure the government tags it and make sure that it's not tampered with, and it has to be aged for at least 4 years, and it has to be 100 proof when it's bottled. So there you go, you should know that, and if not, that's why we're doing this, to help you out. Actually, that one it's smoother. It's not as spicy. It's not as heated as the bottled and bond. A little sweeter on the finish. Almost like it would have less rye in it. And it's just a little bit sweeter with the corn. So anyway, this is your next bottled and bond, Evan Williams. This one's fantastic because you talk about bottles under 60. We're talking about bottles under 20. The big 1.75 liter, I think, is like $26 or $27 or something. And get you one of those 750s. You can even get them in the small ones. Try it out, see if you like it. But it's a great one to have a big bottle of, have it handy. It's a guilt-free, great for cocktails, mixes, and just it's actually pretty dang good and neat. Let's see. We'll see how it compares to these other two. Substantially lower price. McKenna's quite difficult to find. That's this one here. Actually, so's the bottled and bond in some states. I don't see that in the shelves anywhere in Alabama. I've got to cross over to Georgia or Tennessee to get some. Yeah, so that's got a lot more. It's good, but it's got more dusty notes. I don't know, it just tastes younger. A little bit of a mineral note in it. And the finish isn't really, the finish is not at the level of those ones there. But a great bourbon again for $20. Are you kidding me? These ones here, like I think typically you'll find them around $49, but you can find them anywhere $60-$70. Heaven Hill, I think that one there's around $40. I can't remember what I paid for that, but yeah, find that. That's getting a little harder to find, but a lot of states it's not so hard to find. So then we go over this side here. Let's work from the outside and back in. This is a recent addition in the last couple of years. It's Elijah Craig Rye. That's a 94 proof. I think they're all 94. So it's just got extra rye. This here is more of your standard bourbon notes. This is your 94 proof standard. This one's a a barrel pick, store pick, and it's fantastic. I've blinded that against a couple of different standard Buffalo Trace, and this has actually beat those pretty handedly. It's got a lot of flavor on it. Again, I think it's got a little bit of a slight nuttiness to it. This is the more recent one. This is one that people are just raving about, and let me give it a try, because I tell you what, it never impressed me. Never impressed me. I mean, it took a long time to find one of those, because I was determined that I wasn't going to be paying $120 for one of those, and there was a lot of them. People were buying them up. They couldn't get them, and then they were all going on the secondary for like $100, $120. So I got that at an ABC allocation day, paid it $58 or $59 or whatever it is. Not mad, but I wouldn't pay more. No, just doesn't do it for me. And a lot of people are just, they're like, it is fantastic. It's okay. Don't pay over 60. Don't pay over retail for it. I get it. They took this here and they put it in another barrel which they toasted to give it a little bit of extra sweetness and a little bit of finish on it. I don't get it. I don't think it's there. I would take Old Forester 1910 all day long, let alone for $60. You know, you can get that for $52 to $55. Anyway, enough rant done on that. Toasted barrel. If you're going to pay, before you pay $120, call Mick. Call Uncle Mick. He'll give you a sample and say, taste this before you go spending silly amounts of money on it. This one, on the other hand, this here is the barrel proof. That's right. If you haven't heard about the Elijah Craig barrel proof, they put out 3 batches a year. There's an A batch, a B batch, and a C batch. Then it has a second letter. It's A1, it's B5, and C9. Now the letter corresponds exactly with the month. So 1 is January, 5 is May, and of course 9 is September. It's either when it's released or it's when it's taken out of the barrels and it's bottled, something similar, because you won't find it in September in a lot of places, but you'll see them start turning up in September. So I believe that's when they bottle it and they start releasing it to the different states. This one here is C918 at 131.4 proof. I've already poured this here. I'll tell you what it's all about. The nose, oh my goodness, the nose. Just loads of caramel, burnt sugar, brown sugar. So it's a $60 bottle. Compared to that there's no comparison. There's just none. Alright, so that one here is going to hit your tongue. And it's going to feel like you put your tongue on a 9-volt battery and it went like that, and it's just it'll wake you up when it goes down. So much flavor. Alright, so in this glass here we got some larceny. That's right, and it's a barrel proof larceny. I'm not a huge fan of the 92 proof larceny. I think I just prefer the brown sugar, burnt sugar type toffee type bourbons than I do the lighter, sweeter, smoother ones. This is Heaven Hill's wheated bourbon larceny. I don't know how much wheat's in it. I think it's just a typical bourbon with it's replacing the rye, which gives it that spice, with wheat, which gives it a more smoothed out sweetness. Oh, it's good. Oh, that's the Elijah Craig barrel proof. I was like, gosh, that smells good. There's the wheated, so fruity. It's just lighter. It doesn't have that dark, syrupy, molasses type notes in it. It is very pleasant. Floral, even. It's got the heat, 132, 122. It just tastes overly mineral to me. Now, I tried this year's B521, I believe it was. A friend had it. And yeah, I was kind of sad I didn't get one, because it is just heads and shoulders above this. It is so much better. Now, at least the sample I had was. So don't rule it out, but you know what? Hey, look, and I have different tastes than everybody. There's some bourbons that people rave about. There's some bourbons I rave about that other people are like, meh, that's pretty average. So take it all with a grain of salt. Try it for yourself. All I can tell you is like something like this one here, the toasted barrel. Don't go paying 90, 100, 120 bucks for it. Please don't do that. It's just not worth it. Alright, back to the Elijah Craig. The nose is so good. It's so sweet, and I actually don't get a whole bunch of ethanol, but it's been sitting here for a little while. Just each time it comes out, I try to go find one, buy it, and add it to my collection, open it up, and compare it to the other ones. The lower proof ones I think are also really, really good. But these higher proofs, you can always add a couple drops of water to it, proof it down, and see how it goes. So anyway, just wanted to give a shout out to Heaven Hill. This is my basic collection of Heaven Hills. What do I like the most out of all of these? Yeah, I won't lie to you, the Parker Heritage. I paid, I paid $140 for it, and I'm certainly not mad about it. And that seems like ridiculousness, but it really is fantastic, and I think it's worth every penny. It's just tasting something that's that much more refined. It is kind of experimental, but it's amazing what can be done when they take their best bourbons and do an amazing finish on it. So yeah, get out there and try some of these, man. There's under 60, 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 meh. And then these ones here, 60, 60, and then these ones here around the $120 to $150 price range. So yeah, lots of products out there from Heaven Hill that you can get your hands on and are worth trying. So anyway, that's it. Join us this Thursday on Bourbon Life Under 60, or join Bourbon Blind over there and post your favorite Heaven Hill picks next Thursday, the last Thursday of National Bourbon Heritage Month. So let's do this. Let's make it a good one. Cheers, everybody. I'm out from the Bourbon Shed. Thanks for joining me. Bye now.